and I can lie. You know won't be long until the end. Let the spotlight shine on me again. Well, now let me fly. And we leave me on the floor. It's just a part of my show.
Welcome back to Guitar. My name is Scott. Thanks for joining me for another Mark II Boss Katana tone tutorial. This time we're doing the band Turnstile and their song Blackout off of their album Glow Up from 2021, I think. I'm not really familiar with this band. They're supposed to be a Baltimore hardcore band, but it doesn't sound like hardcore. It's not hardcore in the sense of like New York hardcore. It's more of the sense of like hardcore punk, like let's say Gorilla Biscuits or Bad Religion, stuff like that. But to me, it's a little more poppier than that, and it mixes elements of different percussions in there that you normally really wouldn't hear in hardcore or hardcore punk. So it's interesting, it's catchy, it's kind of cool. I don't know if it's my thing or not, but it doesn't matter. You'll see some people on there saying they're not hardcore or stuff like that, but it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to have haters. I've got haters. Everybody's got haters. You could put out the most perfect piece of music, and you're going to have haters. So it is what it is. So let's get down to it. One thing to note about this song, they use a lot of noise gate, and I'm not sure if the noise gate in the Boss Katana is quite enough without losing tone. You might have to try an external noise gate, maybe even in the loop. So let's look at our chain right here. Right now, we are using chain 2-2 because I am putting a compressor before the booster. I had about 5 different variations of this song as I was working on it, and I think it was just this morning or just last night that I got it down where I think it's good. I was trying some different things with the Brown amp because I know one of them plays like an EVH, or they might have played a rectifier at one time, but it just didn't sound quite right. It sounded like either too much or too little no matter what I did to it. So I ended up coming back to a crunch amp, and I was able to incorporate a boost that kind of got the right sound to it. So chain is 2-2. We got an amp crunch. Gain is 47. Volume is up there at 87. Bass at 64. 55 in the mids and 75 on the treble. Over here I'm using the deep cabinet resonance, and I got the presence at 38. I don't have any contour on here, but I'm going to turn the noise gate on now and just kind of show you what it sounds like clean, because it's a very heavy noise gate, meaning it's gonna chop it off as soon as it can. So I've got the noise gate. I've got the threshold set at 82, which is kind of high, and the release at 25. So without it, just on the crunch channel, before we get into the boost, I'll turn it on. You'll hear it better once I turn on the boost, but it kind of deadens the tone quite a bit if you don't have a booster on. So let's turn our booster on, and I'm going to use a Governor DS on this. I did try the Tube Screamer and a couple other ones, but the Governor just it gave me the right tone for this song. And I've got the drive at 34, tone at 14, bottom at 11, 65 in the level, and I've got the direct mix cranked all the way up because it just sounded better in the mix. So let's turn it on and see where we're at right now. Now, if you're familiar with the song, you know that's pretty much the main riff almost all the way through, except during like the chorus sounds and the breakdown. I don't quite have the breakdown down pat yet. It's kind of weird, and I just haven't practiced it enough. So I didn't include it in the playthrough, and I just did like the first minute and a half. I'm not sure. So once you got your booster set up, come on over to the mod, and we're going to put a Boss comp in the mod. And of course, that is going to be before the booster. And I'll let you see how it sounds after the booster once we turn it on. So I got the sustain set at 35 because you don't really need a whole lot of sustain in this song. Attack at 79, 9 on the tone and 59 on the level without it. And with it, you can't really tell a huge difference, but when I change the chains, it might make a liar out of me. Change the chains. Let's go up to 2-1. kind of a thinner sound to it, isn't it? Let's keep it right at that. And I don't have any kind of effects. I thought about putting a little chorus on there, but it didn't sound right. And the track that you heard at the beginning, I did double track it. I played the intro in the left, and then once the other guitar kicks in, I played that in the right, which gave it kind of a nice, cool, layered sound, just like the song, and just instead of just trying to, play a mono track all the way through. So I enjoyed doing that, and I think it came out pretty good. So going over here to our EQ, of course, I got a parametric EQ on here, and you heard it without it, but I've got amp out, and I've got 7 decibels on the low gain at 40, 3 decibels on the low mid gain at 800. I got both Qs at 2, plus 2 on the high mid, and 630 hertz on there. 4 decibels in the high gain, 2 decibels on the level, and the high cut at 5. And if you're playing with hotter pickups, like these are only like, these are burst buckers, and they are about 8 k ohm, which is just a moderate kind of path era pickup. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. But if you end up putting a hotter pickup on there, like a JB, like an SH4 or anything like that, you might get a little too much gain, and you might have to just try dialing the amp gain up here down just a little bit. And if that doesn't work, play with the boost a little bit, but you might not have the problem at all. Turning on our EQ before with the EQ. Just gives a little more bottom end, a little more body, makes it a little more beefy. And that is it. It's a very basic tone. It's not a difficult song to learn. You can probably find it on Songster or Ultimate Guitar. Like I said, it's not a difficult tune to play. It's just a lot of power chords, and you just got to get the rhythm down. When you're playing, you're trying to learn somebody, and certain guitarists have certain styles, and even though the song seems easy, if you're not used to their style and their rhythm playing, it can make it a little more difficult. And I did struggle with that, like the first day I was trying to play it, until I just sometimes you just kind of got to relax and go with the flow when you're trying to learn a song. Anyway, there's a tone. It'll be down in the description to Boss Tone Exchange if you want to download it from there. Thanks for watching. I hope you like it. If you did like it, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. If you want to hit the bell notification and get notified when I am posting a new video, do that. We'll see you next time.
Back out in the middle of the line, and now back down with the feeling, and I can lie. You know what?